So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is our C++ tutorial series for beginners. This is video number 3, I think. And in this video, we're talking about local IDE. We already talked in the last video about online IDE when you want just follow fast and test some keywords, which is very nice when you follow our tutorial series, because then you just throw in the keyword and then you press run and you can follow along without much to do. But today we are talking about a local IDE, which means a local programming editor. And for that, you can go to the search machine, you type in C++ IDE local, perhaps best or something like that, and then there you will have a list of different IDEs. And then you have to read through, and perhaps you can just install some of them, test it, and check if you like it or not. That's one way to do it, but we can't do this in this tutorial. This is your job to do. You just test it, or you just look at other videos where they show what they are very good and bad and so on. But what we are doing is, or better, let's say what I'm using is a very old Visual Studio 2019. There is already a free community version for 2022 Visual Studio. Here's something like this one, and then it pops up Visual IDE. That's right, community and community, because the community version is the free version and the Visual Studio Preview or something like that. Whatever. The community version is the free version, and you need the community version as a starter. And it is the version 2022. I'm not going to use that because I need this 2019. I have connected, referenced it to another program, but later I switch to this one too, probably, but not right now. And for programming, it's not that a big problem because the programming is in all things same. But back to you, if you choose any other IDE, no problem too, because like I said, the IDE is just a programming editor who gives you features to program it easy. Some are more complex, some are less complex, some has other features and so on. You just test it what you like. In our case, like I said, in my case, not in our case, in my case, I use this one. And if you want to follow this along, you can use that, but you have not to. It works with all. So let's say you are going for Visual Studio. I demonstrated. Then after you install this, the installation I don't show here too, because this is just a standard installation like an app and so on. You most time click just yes, the default settings, and you are through. There is only one thing perhaps we should mention up, not even, and there is some modular, let me show you that. C++ Visual Studio, something like so. No, Visual Studio, let's go here, community, yes, and we go in this one. And that was absolutely the wrong place, of course. Okay, here, what's that? Yes, so when you start this installation of Visual Studio, because it is also a very complex, very complex system, and we don't need all. There is probably a selector, and you select only what you need. That's very important. Don't click all here. The most thing what we need is just C++, and there are other systems included. If you need them, you can later open this installer again and install it afterwards. But right at the start, just concentrate on C++. That will work, and that's it. So let's say you have finished your installation, and now we are going and open up C++. Here in our case, Visual Studio. And it starts with a pop-up menu, and at the first one it says what here is asking, have you opened your already projects, or where it says here get started, what we are going to, and the most important thing here is just this one down, and it says create a new folder. Here is just open a local folder which you already have. That's not very important. We are at the beginning. We say we create a new project, right? We click on create a new project, and then it pops here up, and then here we have a selection of options. We stick to C++. Here we keep all on default, and here we have again a whole list, and so we just take consider just the first two, empty or consoler. In this case, let's go for consoler because I have not tested this too, but it says we can run hello world, and probably you heard about hello world a lot of time, a lot of places, because it's a very standard start program. Let's take this one, why not? And we click next, and here project name, here you name it what you want. Let's say our first project, here in my case first project YouTube. I got it. And location, this is the location where you should find this one. Later solution name, we don't care about that. I think please solution and project. Yes, you can keep this one too. Later when we know what this is, we can change this or make a new one. Right now this is all fine. We go create and we wait a little bit. And like I showed you in the last video, let me show this one fast again before we continue here. Here, it was, this online IDE was very simple, very straightforward. You have just a text, you write in, you run compile, here puts out, and if it's an error, here puts on this. But let's look this now. Oh my god, when you see this the first time, you say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? Here is a whole list of options. Here are a lot of different icons, and then we have here something like a solution explorer, and here I have to say this IDE, this local IDE, is for professionals, not only like us, like starters who want to learn some basics. But the good news is we can skip almost all. What I mean with skip almost all is here are so many things and so many things up. We don't need them. We need our text editor, which we have here in our middle. Cool. We need just our lines. Very good. That we learned yesterday in my last video too. And what we need also is just the start button. Where's the start button, which we learned also in our online IDE? It is called here local Windows debugger. That's perhaps important. So we have found almost all. The next thing what we need, or what is very important too, is something what we have not in our online IDE, and that is this strangely sounding solution explorer, which means this is just our file structure, not more and not less, but it has here some files which we have to discuss. And this is, first of all, reference you can forget. That is just nothing important for us right now at start, later perhaps. External dependencies you can forget. This is just an internal technical thing which we don't care right now at the start. Header files we care, we will care, not right now. Just keep this word. And source files, yes, we care. So these two are later our main files which we will work. We will have here a header file, and here the source file is already here. When I first project CPP, when I click on it, you see this one, what you see right now is already the source file. But normally, and we will learn this later, this project file can come with a header file, and why this so is separated and not in one file, we will learn during the course. Here is one more file which is at the start not so important, and it is the resource file. Careful, not source file, resource. And resource means most time you add their pictures or audio files or external files, and then you put them here, and then you reference them later to your main file. And if you believe it or not, that is the main thing what we need here at start. And all other things what you can see right here, you will probably watch let's say another video for this IDE, and not all, of course, not all things, but the main things perhaps, and then get more familiar and so on. Right now at the start we skip all. Like I said, we use just this, the middle here, this one here, and later if an error appears or something like that, it will be popping up here on the bottom. So we have also our execution panel here, will be here, it says output, will be here on the bottom, and that's almost it. The one more thing here which we have not in our online IDE, we can save. That's, of course, we write this code here, we can save it. Absolute perfect. So we can open this up again in the next video and continue with our work. That's perfect. Let's see, we have here already again strange looking code, this time much in green. Our colors are back. Here we have something in a little bit orange looking, and this looks a little orange yellow. This looks more orange. These are both looking like orange and brown a little bit. Whatever, we have here main, and then we have many other things. Perhaps one more note, you'll probably see my theme. This is not white. When you open this first time up an IDE, this one looks more white. I made it a dark theme. It looks more dark, this background and so on, the color. And the reason for that is if you work a lot with programming and you are concentrating and viewing this editor, it is more pleasant for your eyes. That's why you will see that many programmers change the white color to a dark theme, because they want not tire their eyes. That's sad, or it is just style, like it. Perhaps they just like it. Who knows? Anyway, we continue with one more thing which we need. And okay, I showed you these two important files here on the right side, right? All other we can skip. That's nice. We have here our project name. You open this up, then you concentrate on this file, header file, source file. Okay, and how we create now a file, or that's very important too. Let's cover this also. What you do is on your source file, you click, and you click with the right mouse button it, and then we have here an option menu. The bottom are not so important here. The first one is important. It says add, and we have to go to the other one. You forget. Okay, let's start again. These are more other things. We go to new item, just this one. All other things, I don't know, perhaps we need it in future time. And then in new item we have again a pop-up menu. We go on Visual Studio C++, this is that. Then we have here strange looking things. Never click on that, because these are just other options. We go to our window in the middle, and here we have again some options. Here I told you we have these two files, header file and source file, and here we can create a source file which is CPP. The ending is for a source file all time CPP, and the ending of a header file is all time H. So if you want to make a source file, you select the first one. And if you want to make later a header file, you select the H file. But we talk later what they are. One more thing. Here is this C++ class. let's skip this one, not very important right now. But the C plus class, I think this is just a shortcut to create both later. So you said I need both, so you make one name and it creates automatically both files. It's a little bit more convenient when you know you need both, then just create this with this one. But right now we are not creating. That was just the additional info which we need when we create new files. Right now let's go back to our source file, and the source file is opened up here, and we can click it away with that one. And if you want to open this one up, you go here again to your source file. Here is the name. This one, don't click on this one. This one works too. That's nice, but it's jumping then to the place. But normally you would click here on the first one and it pops up again. So I think that's enough for a local IDE. So the main difference, let's compare, let's make here. The main difference here is actually it is more complex for later use, which we have not discussed now. I showed only what you can find here too, and this is at start very important. But the absolute important difference is we can go and save our project. Where is it? It says something like save. Shortcut is, I know only the shortcut, that's why I don't know where it is. The shortcut is Control C. I think everybody knows this shortcut, and I can't. Where is this? Edit. Anyway, it's anywhere here, new. And then you can save the. So what is that? Why are you blind? Anyway, I'm blind right now. That happens sometimes too. Yeah, here, save pro. So I was blind. Where was I showing, man? Okay, we have that. And here you can see also the shortcut, Control S. Not C? Control C was copy. I talked again crap. I was not only blind. Yes, I think I need a little bit sleep before I make this tutorials. No. Okay, Control S is save, Control C was copy, Control X was cut, and so on. All right, we have that. That said, this here are more to talk, but at start we skip all other things, and we will concentrate next time directly a little bit with this taxi. Before I close, let's start and see how the output is here compared to our online. I go here on top where it says local window debugger. This is our start button. All the things what you can see here will be translated and compiled and started. Let's do it. I press, and then you can see here on the bottom it starts to do anything. And strange things, and you can all forget because these are just internal executions. You can see here on top, first person to exit, blah blah blah, loaded, and then it says what it's loaded, then this is loaded, this is loaded, this is loaded. Here on the bottom is something very important later, but most time you forget all. But if there is something red, then you don't forget this one, please, because red means there, or yellow is a warning, red is a error, and this one you have to solve later. Let's see what happens here first. So I started here this debugger. It pops up a pop-up window. Instead that it writes here in our output log, it pops up and says hello world, and then here it shows my address where it's saved, where I can find it. And here one more thing, it says exited with the code null. Code null is a special info in programming, which means all succeeded, positive, very good, no errors, and so on. When it's not succeeded with code 0, you will find and search for errors. And then here on down it says we just press any key, and this program terminated. It's back to our local debugger again. So let me show the arrow too. I showed you this one, I think, in the online IDE too. Our most time made error is forget this semicolon. But after I deleted this one, you can see here our yellow line, which means it is not safe. Control S for save. Now it's green, means now this one is safe. Now we can here click this, but before I click, you can probably see also here a red line. I think next time I will zoom this a little bit, write this a little bit bigger. I hope it's visible. Here is a red line, so you can see here it indicates already that there is an error before you start even compiling. That's also very fantastic as a local IDE, for example, compared to our online IDE. If I get rid of this one, now I made even 2 errors. Here is not even an indicator that I made something wrong. So you see, the online IDE is very nice for quick test, write in, use it, very nice. But here you have already indicators, and here I can hover over it and it says before I even compiled it that there is an error. Here int main, it says expected a semicolon again, but a little, and let's say I still compile, and then there's then it pops up there was build errors, which means here we found build errors. Like to continue, we say normally, if you say errors, no. And here on the bottom you can see Q errors occurs, and this is a problem in the local debugger. There will be also sometimes shown errors which it's not really related to this error, and the reason for that is I'm not sure too, but it's a chaining, right? This error creates another error, let's call it this way, and then it changes, and then it says there is something missing, there is something missing, and there is something missing. So sometimes you have concentrate and find this error, but most times you find it very easy. In this case you see it's only 2 errors, but in more complex programs it can happen that you have here a list of red things, and it was only and the real error occurs only on one line perhaps. This is a job which we will face later and see how we solved it. But right now here it says syntax error missing semicolon, but here and here on the right side, line 9, yes, here's right line, and here is a semicolon missing, but careful, not on line 9, it was before line 9. Yeah, we have to go here a little bit. When we double click it, it jumps to this place, and you must then check if it means on line 9 or before line 9. In this case it is here before, then you go there, write the semicolon back, here is our yellow line, you save it, and this one is here because it's not updated, which means we have just compile again, and then this time it works and no red line and all is white. That's good. And the best thing what you have to check here is the last line when it says has exited with code 0, and code 0 in this case means all is positive, no errors found, no warnings found. There are also warnings are yellow, but warnings can be skipped. That's a very nice thing, but careful, you should still know why the warning is occurring or something like that. But all this kind of stuff we talk during this tutorial series. Right now I stop here, and in the next video we are talking again now a little bit with this code. We are not starting directly in the keywords, which are the programming special words, reserved words. We have to talk about this start page. Okay, see you there and bye.